So hello everyone. Very soon we're going to be getting the CSL casters in the call. As you can see, we've got what is called better graphics than Ultra tried with his. That I know that the other casters are laughing in the call, but no one can hear them yet because I've got them muted. But so we're just getting registries loaded up and making sure that Vale has his Skype working, and then we can start. So thank you for any waiting that will be done. What? What have I done?
After the first E. That's just a B circ.
Well, the fucking what did the fucking oh yeah, I can't spell. So what we're gonna do? I'm gonna have to add an R somehow. Let me just open. Everyone can hear you now, by the way. So I will get that fixed. But let's start discussing CSL and the changes we've got. I know, but he's going to take 15 years, so it'd be important to mention that now wins are 3 points, ties are 2 points, and I think the reason for that was because you used to only have to tie like twice or get the bonus point twice in order to get the equivalent of a win. They wanted to make it a bit harder to get out of.
I think it was mainly because of bonus point. You could get a bonus point and it was worth the same amount as a tie, which didn't really seem fair.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add Vale on his new Skype.
Okay. And I promise I am actually changing up this thing. I'm just literally, I closed it and didn't save a PSD, so I'm having to remake it completely.
Nice one.
I've done a good job. But if you can start reading off the roster lists for Division 1.
The teams?
The teams, if you want.
Alright, so for Division 1, we have Berserk, Charge Brigade Gold, Charge Brigade Silver, Nuclear Energy, Relapse, and Wallywogs.
I think this is most likely the most hyped up that Division 1's been, because for me recently, and like because you can see the last seasons there in D1 at least, I think it's been between Charge Brigade Gold and Wallywogs for quite a while, and I think that Relapse, Berserk, Charge Brigade Silver even could probably get a few wins in this division. I think that even though I still think that Charge Brigade are going to win this division because they just have one of the most stacked rosters at the moment, I still think that it could go either way. Wallywogs could definitely win the division. Berserk can still do good, and soon goes for Relapse.
Looking at all these
everyone
teams,
is go on.
Looking at all these teams, it looks like we could be seeing one of the closest D1s that we've seen in a while. And just with how Relapse and Berserk are entering in, it feels like it's going to be quite a breath of fresh air from what we've been seeing the last few seasons.
And the truth for everyone is that WZ1 and CB Gold will be playing the first match of Division 1. They are going to be playing week 1, so we'll be casting that match as well during week 1. We'll keep you guys up to date on that one, but that is going to be an interesting match. It's probably going to be like one of those things where, like, you know, it's like the NBA finals or something. You know, both teams are just going head to head, and then every single race will be a +2 or +1 for a certain team. And it's going to go down to the wire for that one, so you can expect a lot from that match.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have like the most hyped up match week 1. It's definitely going to make the division interesting to start off. As you just said, I definitely think that's probably going to be one of the closest matches in this division. Charge Brigade and Wallywogs have been scrimming quite a lot recently from what I've seen, and both teams can easily beat each other, so it'll just be down to what happens on the day, really.
And to go through the rosters of both teams, in case any of you are unfamiliar with the two Division 1 heavyweights, for Charge Brigade Gold, we have Hawk, Crash Nero, Akane, Derek, Trix, Samuel, Maria, and well, Jeff is signed up for his Charge Brigade Gold, but he is apparently kicked from Charge Brigade, so he will
He's
not
been
be.
kicked.
He got banned from MK Gold.
And he's banned from MK Bullet. so
He
won't
tried
start
to
his playing
he
for a
tried
couple
to
of weeks.
register without actually telling Hawk that he was playing for CB. So
Tom
he's
Sabby said, read the PMs on Skype.
read the PMs. Okay,
Let's
I'll have a
jump
quick
in.
look.
Wish I
But
can
as-
see my Skype.
Okay, so we're gonna have to play a bit of a soundtrack in the background.
Yeah, as Tom's just setting that up, I just want to talk about how this season is bringing back playoffs. So, which means the playoffs are changing for this season, and I actually think that the playoffs, the way that they work this season, is a lot better to 2 seasons ago. So each
Yep,
team
the
obviously.
playoffs now.
You can go.
Okay, the playoffs now. Definitely, we have changed the thing to make first place more, sort of more.
Important.
It's more of a, important. Yes, definitely. A lot of people can say like FU got screwed over 2 seasons ago because they won the division 7-0, but they lost the playoffs on the very first round. So we definitely changed it up. First place is gonna have an auto bye to the finals, and they are gonna play the winner of the second versus third, which is gonna be week 11. Week 12 will be the finals of each division. There'll be the first seeding versus whoever wins between second and third in probably a best of 3 format.
Okay.
Okay, have we got? Are we? How many teams have we discussed through?
We were just talking
it's-
about the rosters with Charge Brigade and
What's
Wollywog 1.
gold? So for Wollywog's 1, definitely another strong roster. TK, Kalua, Larry, Jax, Doobie, Kayla. So that's gonna definitely be it's a bit of a change from what we have seen, but I think Jack is gonna transfer to Wollywog's 1 as well. So he's a great player. So definitely looking forward to that one. So far, yeah, that's the case.
And I know Wollywogs 2 have got a clear bagger. What would be the bagger out of Wollywogs 1?
Doobie.
Doobie,
Yes,
okay.
Doobie's been practicing, yeah.
Because I know people keep saying Doobie's a good bagger, and then it gets to these events where we have to cast them, and we haven't seen him bag that much because normally they have other people going back. But it will be interesting to see how Doobie can handle the top division bagging.
It's a pity for WZ1 that they've really lost their sort of a long-term bagger for them, because they had Vito and they had Charles, but both of them won't be playing for WZ1 this season. So it's definitely a huge loss to them, and I hope they can definitely recover and then get back right into the fight with Charge Brigade Gold, because Charge Brigade Gold has not lost much, and they have gained a Kane in the off season. He's coming back to the game, so definitely a good addition for CBG.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sarge Brigade Gold have won the last 3 divisions in a row, and adding another powerhouse player is just going to make it even harder for any of the other teams to be able to top them. But does anyone know where actual Charles has gone? Talking about that. 'Cause
It still
didn't know
says
he-
Wollywogs on the roster.
I think he still plays for Wollywogs, but I'm not sure if he's intending on bagging.
There's
He-
I'm not.
Well, he's in EXO as well.
I doubt
I
he'll be
think.
transferring to
I
you.
highly
yeah,
doubt he'd move to bottom division though.
Anyway, we should go on to the other teams because we've been talking about Charge Brigade and Relapse and Wollywog, sorry, but we've got new teams entering D1 now, so we've got Berserk and Nuclear Energy. So, Vale, since you are in Nuclear Energy, just want to tell about your team and what you think you guys are going to be able to get out of Division 1.
Okay, I know Viraf's on stream right now and he's waiting for me to say something about Claw. Well, okay, personally, I have no confidence in myself being in Division 1. A lot of people can say that we are underdogs, and we definitely are, because we're new to Division 1. I don't think anyone in the squad has actually been in Division 1 playing. It's definitely going to be a new experience for us, but we just hope to do our best, It was a huge debate to go on whether Nuclear or probably Gun or even UK was going to be in Division 1, but I think we're definitely the most suited clan among the 3, and we'll just try to do our best, we have our main sort of people. It's like probably me, Fox, Barney, May, Claw, and we'll have Danny and Nemesis as backup.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been
It's-
seeing you guys doing just random wars and scrims against some of the top teams, and you've been beating them, and I think it's always good, like, even if you're a new team to D1 and you're not exactly looking to, like, straight up win the division, it's always good to, like, get your clan on the board kind of thing. Because, I mean, you guys are going against some of the top teams that have been around this game for years, with Charge Brigade and Wollywogs, and even if you can pick up wins against some clans, that'll give you a massive morale boost, and then, who knows, if you play next season, then you'll get better results as well.
Definitely. Well, the thing is, like we're looking at teams like Charge Brigade Gold and Wollywogs One. They are the heavyweights, and then I think that if we can conjure up something decent in week 1, that people's opinions would change somewhat a bit. You know, they wouldn't really just shove us like at the bottom of the division. We might actually like be in some form of contention. You know, it's playoff season, and if we can get at least third, we still have a shot at winning the division.
Yeah,
Tom,
I mean, it's
Tyler,
always...
anything to add to it?
Oh yeah. Oh.
Tyler.
All right, so just basically looking around at nuclear energy and just seeing how they've been picked up as a new team in this. I think it's going to be mainly more of the more interesting factors to see how they're going to compete rather than if they win or not. Which, I mean, like, logically speaking, going through all these teams, it doesn't look very evident that, you know, hey, a team like Nuclear Energy is gonna finish on top. It's more of a fact that everybody, how the community views it is they're a completely new D1 team, and we haven't seen how they're gonna play in D1. We've seen some of their players individually play in CSL with other teams, but that doesn't necessarily mean we've seen how they play together. And how they play together is definitely going to greatly impact how they do in this division. That's what we've all seen, and it's just generally, it's going to be interesting to see how they finish off the season and where they end in the placements.
I mean, from Nuclear Energy as well, we've got people like May, and then we've got Vale and Sander, and I think Danny Lone Wolf is also in AP for a little while, but you've got some people that are in AP. You've got, like, quite talented people that were in clans that just a few years ago would have been in Division 1 or 2. And along with that, you've got people like Fox and Barney, who are very skilled time trialers. You've got Nemesis, who's recently come onto the scene as quite a strong player. So it's quite a strong team. And then you've got Claw as a bagger, who's, again, just popped out of nowhere as a really good bagger. So it's going to be interesting, but I think they could be quite the challenge to face.
That's the thing. That's the most interesting part about the Nuclear Energy is seeing how Claw is going to do against all these other baggers, because you're going to be seeing him go against baggers like Hawk, Virith, even Doobie, whoever's bagging for Relapse. I'm unclear of, or even Berserk. It's just seeing how Claw's gonna do is probably going to be the most interesting factor about Nuclear Energy being in this division. Just to see how he levels up to baggers who've been doing it since the start of Weemfi and even later.
I mean, every other team has got, like, a clear bagger other than, like, Wollywogs. So, like, Relapse have got Chrome, who has been bagging quite a few times in when we've casted in, like, a pace. I think he was bagging. And
You just said they have no bagger.
We just said they had no bagger. Well,
Chrome.
Who?
they've
Berserk?
got Chrome.
Chrome, yeah.
Coming back,
Relapse has got Chrome.
yeah. CSL unban.
CSL unban.
But yeah, talking about Berserk, you were talking about how we have a bagger, but like, we're in a bit of a predicament lately because I think Vito will play if we need him, but like, he's just not finding MKE as fun as he used to, so I'm not 100% sure how that's going to affect the team one of Berserk, but I think the Berserk's team, and I don't want to sound biased because I play for the team, like the second team, but I definitely think that they can get some good results because it's like, it's kind of turned into like a mix between Zoltanite and Cruxus from like last season, but they actually Skype, so that's good. So if Vito can bag and then they get like a decent lineup, they've got like Bane, Yasha, Russo,
Joe,
Vincent.
Russo. Is Joe
Yeah.
gonna be playing for you guys?
I think Jonah's playing as well. I'm not 100%
Joe.
sure. Oh, Joe. I don't think Joe's playing, but
Oh.
yeah, we've got Jonah, Dookie, Yasha, Vito, Bane, Russo, Vincent, and Ryan signed up. So, I mean, they definitely can contend for like at least the playoff spots. I'm not 100% sure. Like, obviously, as I said, I think that the top 4 teams, being Charge Brigade Gold, Berserk, Relapse, and Mollywogs, are going to do well. But obviously, like Nuclear Energy and Charge Brigade Silver, you can't really count them out. I definitely think that upsets are possible in this division, and no one's going to have a clear loss. So, I'm definitely hyped up for this division over any of the other divisions currently, just because of the like skill levels and new teams that we're seeing.
One
Alright,
question. About Dookie. Is Dookie staying? Because I know in the CSL staff chat, people wondering if they were going to Uka Shichibukai.
If Uka Shichibukai do get seeded, then I'm pretty sure that Dookie's going to be transferring, but obviously we've still got this whole Clan Thunder thing going on
Yeah.
there. They do have until midnight to get their 8th player.
Yeah,
but obviously if they
midnight
don't,
tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just
they
gonna
have-
call the clan SH because I have no idea how to pronounce the name.
it's
Yeah,
very hard to
we're
pronounce.
having a go. We're trying. It's probably wrong, but
But yeah,
Okay,
Jeff is just currently actually registered for UK at the moment, so there you go.
All right. Before we take 10 hours to talk about one match, the last match on week 1 of Division 1 is a relapse against Charge Brigade Silver. Your thoughts on that, guys?
Relapse and CB Silver. I think it's going to be close. My favourite's just going to be Relapse because I think that they're a really dominant team. In the past tournament, I'm pretty sure they got semi-finals, which is pretty strong. I mean, they have decent players. Looking at their roster real quick.
Yeah, Ari definitely got stronger with Crucis passing out mid-season.
Yeah.
In season 5, and they've gotten RCS, Sander, and Luke from CX. So it's definitely a huge addition to RE because they are very good players, and they also recently added Locky and K to the team. So the team just got even stronger.
I'm not sure what's happening with Lucky though, because I thought, like when, like, I was told for some weird reason he'd left, like. In the CT chat, people like Lucky had quit MKW, but clearly he's been registered after
Yeah, I'm
then.
not sure if he's 100% active, but I definitely think he's still registered and might play.
He's clearly been moved from Quintessence, so he's clearly playing in some way.
Yeah. Looking at the actual Relapse lineup there, like itself, it's really strong. They've got Chrome, Proto, Wolf, RCS, Nove, Luke, Leaf, Tyler, Xander, K, and Lucky. And I'm not sure if Tyler can play CSL because of the fact that he got banned on MK boards. I'm not 100% certain about that, but just that lineup itself can definitely beat the top teams out there, and they've done before in scrims. So I think it's going to be definitely favoured that match between towards Relapse, but Charge Brigade Silver definitely can win. I mean, they've got Verif bagging. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing suicide bagging because I'm not up to date 100% on the rules for that, but Verif's a pretty
Suicide
good
bagging
suicide
is
bagger.
default, yes. Suicide
Yeah,
bagging
so if
is
that's default, then definitely if they get more shots, so they can easily win that matchup.
Yeah, CV Silver definitely has a very good players on that team. Even though it's the secondary team of Charge Brigade, don't ever discount them. Faisal, Kion, Hakeem, all fantastic players in their own right, and they can definitely make a positive impact in D1 and then make the competition even more tighter. They did well in D2 last season. They, one of the matches they got screwed on because Virev got 100 minus 160 penalty for moving in the overlap kind of ordeal.
That was awful. God.
Oh dear.
That's just
I
something
mean,
that isn't a replay. That's just
It was just seeing that
repeat
penalty
of
just
that,
made me feel bad.
Looking back at this match, this is literally a match that can go either way, and there's no definite answer to who's gonna win.
I think one tactic could be to use, because Relapse use like daisy tracks, we know that they're going to pick like stuff like BC Wii, BC3. I think if Charge Brigade Silver can prevent them from doing stuff on those kind of tracks, then it will be like even closer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Relapse obviously have been good at them tracks. I mean, Tyler's like one of the best shortcuts.
Beast.
He's
Tyler,
beast at
the Daisy shortcut master.
I have no idea how they do BC week cuts so consistently with Daisy. It's literally unreal. But as you're saying, definitely they're going to prioritize them Daisy tracks if they do use them players.
Ari has K as well, and he's like he's very good at the
Yeah,
BC
they've got like
glitch,
K,
so
Leaf,
3 out
and
of 3.
Tyler. They're all like great Daisy users.
And then Arceus as well isn't that bad at Daisy at all. He's a very strong player.
What?
Arceus.
Daisy uses.
He
What?
uses. I've seen him use
I've
Daisy.
seen him use Daisy.
I've never seen him use.
I've seen him use Daisy.
Wow.
I mean, he might prioritize Funky, but I've seen him use Daisy. He was definitely on Daisy for CTs, so I'm not sure if he was prioritizing that for custom tracks only, or if he's training to become some Daisy maestro. But
I think we should do our predictions on D1 since we've been on it for quite a while, and just I guess
20
each person go
20
from
minutes,
1 to 6. So I guess Vale, you can start off.
Alright, I think the winner for Division 1, I think it's going to be Charge Brigade Gold. I think they're going to take it for the 4th consecutive season. Probably Crash is going to MVP for the 4th consecutive season. Again, probably. Wollywogs 1 is going to have a huge fight with CBG, but I think they're going to finish in second. I think Charge Brigade Silver and RE will definitely have a close one, depending on how each team plays. Berserk, if they don't have a bagger, I'm sorry, I'm going to put you guys at the bottom, because it's just gonna be a shock fest if you guys don't go for it. And
Yeah, I completely agree. We need Vito.
yeah, I'm not gonna say anything about Nuclear Energy because it's my own team. Just wish everyone good luck, and hopefully, like everyone, we get to have an enjoyable season instead of season 5 disaster or some shit like that.
Astro, do you want to go ahead and do your predictions?
Yeah, okay. So what I'd love to see win, I'd love to see Wollywogs finally get their division title. This is something that is just way beyond what we've seen, and this is something that I think the community would like to see as well, because just think, everybody's sick of seeing CB Gold win, and like this has happened 3 consecutive seasons. And I think the community is hankering for an upset by my personal view. I'd like to see CB Gold get second. Right behind CB Gold, I'm gonna place Relapse in 3rd. CB Silver in 4th. Nuclear Energy in 5th, and Berserk in last.
Fair enough.
That's just...
But not last.
And Tom?
I'm admin of this division, so I'd rather not be biased right now.
I guess I'll give
Sorry.
my predictions on it. So
It's okay, I'll
still
pay you $1
think
million.
I still think the Charge Brigade Gold are going to take this season, just because they've been probably the most dominant team in this game for the last 3 seasons. And now that they've got a Kane, it's going to make it even harder to beat them. I think that I definitely agree with you two that if Berserk don't get a bagger, obviously like I'm in the second team, but I think if Vito doesn't end up bagging, then it's going to be the same thing of what happened to Cruxis, and they're going to have the front running abilities, but they're just going to get outclassed by Shock. So if Vito does bag, I think it's going to be Charge Brigade. They're going to be first. I think Wollywogs, Relapse, and Berserk can get anywhere from 2nd to 4th if Vito does bag. And I know that like Charge Brigade, Silver, and Nuclear Energy are the underdogs. I definitely think that they can pick up a few good wins in this season, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to actually like contend for the season win. But I think it's definitely going to be the closest Division 1 that we've had in CSL, so it'll definitely be interesting to be able to cast some of these matches. But I think we should head over to Division 2 now.
Division 2, okay.
Deep one.
And
Quite a while.
Division 2, there we go, it's up. I have spelt Berserk correctly on this
You
one.
spelled Berserk correctly, well done. So in Division 2, which is the Bullet Bill division, we have Avail, Berserk's second team called Shaw Mowers, Team Gun, Kinetic Energy, which is Energy's second team, Underground Kings, and Untouchables 1. So does anyone else start off on what they think is going to go down in this division?
I guess I'll begin then. Alright, so the new addition to Division 2 is definitely Avail. They've been constantly getting kind of like had their balls like beating the crap out of them in like Division 1 for the past few seasons. They're starting afresh in Division 2, and I think they'll do quite well. Avail has gotten a couple of new additions. I think Dave's coming back to quite a decent activity, so he would definitely expect more of him. I don't think Zone, Frenchie, and Shade is going to play much. If they do, it's definitely going to help Avail a lot. They have picked up Smash, Olive Free, and Insane in the off-season, which is very good for them. They are very good players. So definitely hoping Avail can get some like, success in Division 2. I'd rather not get killed every single week.
I mean, it is kind of
Not to
unfair.
mention, we also picked up a new picked up Orange in mid-season in season 5, in which we only saw Orange play around 1 or 2 matches in CSL in season 5, and I think this season is going to be more of a showcase of what we're going to be seeing Orange do. Because looking back at Orange's history with Debilitate, they only played 1 season of CSL, which was back in season 1 or 2. So I'm thinking, yeah. So what I'm interested to see is what Orange can really do in CSL.
Tom, how do you think this division's going to go?
I think Avail, they were a bit unlucky last season because they keep drawing the short straw because they had the history and because they had kind of old world beaters that they kept getting Division 1 seed. But I think Division 2 is a lot fairer for them. It's a lot easier for them to maybe show. And I'm not sure if Shade is playing. Some people in the chat are saying that he is, but
I think that they have a
Isn't in the
stacked
clan
roster
anymore?
on the actual registry, but like most of their top tier players aren't actually going to be playing. Like Frenchie, Zone, and Shade. I'm not 100% sure if they're actually going to be playing. So.
Yeah, if it was that lineup that's playing, they would have been in Division 1.
Yeah, if they had the top tier lineup, then they'd definitely be in D1. But I'm 90% sure they're not going to be playing that much.
Yep. Of course, Avail is gonna be playing Kinetic Energy for the first week. Definitely, Kinetic Energy is definitely another interesting team. I'm same clan as Nuclear Energy, but 2 different teams. I guess someone can start with that because it's my own team. I don't want to be biased or whatever.
I'll start. As we see quite a few experienced players, of course we have Tom, who was in AV, was that?
Yeah, he was in AV.
He was in AV.
But Alvin,
You got Alvin coming back for the millionth
Yeah,
time.
I was not gonna play for quite a while.
He's not playing, okay. Well, we've got Monkeys, who we saw a few times in the Mario Kart World Cup, I believe. Certainly a good player, but for the last few years, he's kind of been trying to come back as a really good player, and he's had a load of issues. Like during the World Cup, he had his disc broken, I think. Like, he's had so many issues on getting back, but hopefully we see him perform well this season. We've got people like Chilo in the team as well.
yeah, they've like Chilo and Doi and stuff.
Yeah, so
Not
there's...
sure how active they are though.
I'm not sure how active they are, but they are quite experienced players, so
Yeah.
I can understand why this team's been seeded lower, but at the same time, they have the experience of a D1 clan.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. I think Vale can back me up here, but I'm pretty sure that Energy like split their teams equally, which I think is actually like a good idea to do. So they haven't got like one stack team and one first skill team. I mean, obviously.
Yes. Yeah, we were planning to put both teams as equals. We were gonna have both teams in Division 2, but of course, there were certain changes, and the council decided to put NRG Nuclear in D1. Besides that, Kinetic Energy, definitely they have some powerhouse players like Thomas. He's a good player. Doi, definitely, if he gets back into activity, I think Doi can definitely make a difference to Kinetic Energy. He is a 10 out of 10 wheeler, 2 stars. And they have Ben bagging, I believe. Because I don't think they have an actual bagger in Kinetic Energy besides Ben. Chilo will play most probably if he can, of course, get himself to play, because usually Chilo's like dead most of the time.
I'm not too sure like how good Ben is at bagging. Obviously, since I haven't really been watching Kinetic Energy as much as I have Nuclear Energy, but as you were saying, they're D2, and I definitely think that they can do well in D2 because although their D1 experienced players are inactive, like you're saying, like Thomas, Doi, and Chilo, if they come back and do start being more active, then I definitely think that they can challenge at least for like the division title, even if they try to go for it. But I definitely think that D2 is still probably roughly the same skill level as it was last time. As you can see, they've actually got the table of last season, so you have Zoltanite, Flow, Gun, CB Silver, Energy, and Lost in Time. So still we've got Team Gun in here, and we've got Berserk, Shaw Mowers, which is kind of Zoltanite. Yeah, it's basically just Zoltanite.
It's basically Zoltanite when they won. It's just
But we
without
don't have
Ryan.
Ryan, which is a big hit to us. But I think this division can go like either way for quite a lot of teams. I mean, Avail have been a D1 team for the last 3 years, so they've got experience. Shaw Mowers, I'm not going to be that biased because obviously I play for them, but we still have players like Sean and Tekken who did really well last season. Gun have always had like great chemistry since they've played with each other for a long time. Underground Kings, they've got some good players. I'm not too sure if who's Jeff's playing for, if he gets unbanned. If it's
He said he'd never play for Underground Kings, I think, in the stream
looks like
chat.
playing for CB then.
Looks like.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
never
too
gets back to
familiar
CB.
Does anyone know anything about Untouchables? I know
Untouchables?
they've got Aaron now.
In what was it? In last season, they didn't do too well in Division 3. I believe they got third in Division 3 with a 6.04. I mean, I'm not too sure what's happened to the lineup because it's quite a strong lineup. You've got players like Neo, you've got players like Slide, you've got players like Ant, but it's kind of I'm not sure how that's a better team than the second team. Like, I debate that the second team is probably actually somewhat stronger given that they've got a few other experienced players, but what would I know? Anything can happen, and I guess that's the team they pulled out of their roster.
I definitely think that UT can still do decent in this division. Obviously, like, they have Slide, who's a really good player. He might be able to carry. I'm not too sure. Like, I don't watch them more at all, and I'm not sure how active they are since I don't really talk to them in that clan. But I mean, most divisions this season, I don't think that there's one team who's just outclassed by everyone else. I think that definitely there are top tier teams and bottom tier teams in each division, but I definitely think that with enough skill and chemistry that each team can beat each team in most of these divisions. So I think this division will be close.
And before we get carried away with Sly, we cannot forget Ant and Neo as well. They are good players.
Oh yeah, definitely Neo.
Who's their band player? There's a band player on the registry.
Game. He's an old player. Yeah, he kept challenging everyone to 1v1s.
What was that? The same game that framed Kayla for cheating or something?
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he distributed the item cheat code.
Throwback.
Yeah.
Throwback. The whole
I remember him.
Kayla and Riker scandal.
Yep.
That was a great one.
That was excellent. But
I mean, there's not much I can really say about this. The teams in this division. All in all, it's a solid division, and I don't think there's going to be a clear winner, just because of how diverse every team is in this division. So, to be honest, I can't really say much. That's just how it is.
Yeah, I guess that is it. If anyone doesn't have anything else to note about D2, then I guess we'll just do our predictions now.
have we gone fully over Gun and Underground Kings?
Yeah, we should talk about Gun Underground Kings actually.
Yeah, let's talk about underground. I was gonna say underground gun.
Underground
Gun.
One.
Gun have recently added 3 new players, but they've got a huge roster.
Gun have a really big roster.
They've just
The
added.
argument is how active the roster is as a whole.
Exactly.
They've added Exaldi, which is quite an active player, and Xenon as well. But at the same time, as you say, they have got some less active players. It'll be interesting to see what they can do, because last season they were putting up quite a good fight, and that was against teams that were like...
Yeah, Gun were really good last season.
They were really good.
Experience. They were like in the last match. They're a good team. Gun were actually seeded in Division 1.
They were, and they were dropped down.
So Gun definitely, like, I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen, but if Gun bust out like their dream lineup of like Yuzora, Zeno, Jeff, Nico, and like little Cosmos Baggin, sorry, that's like a really good lineup who can literally stomp anyone in D2. I'm pretty sure that lineup's not going to happen, but as you were saying, Gun have such a big roster that they can honestly throw out anything, and you can't really be expected for what they're going to throw out. So they do have like D1 players, D2 players, and D3 players, but
like, none of them players are too bad. They're all pretty strong players,
yeah.
So it's not as if you've got a weak lineup that's like D4 or anything. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Even their lowest lineup is probably
their
mid
D2.
D2.
Probably still do good in D2.
Yeah.
And Underground Kings, if anything, has anyone?
Yes, Underground Kings. Definitely could be a wild card in this division. Depends on. I kind of pointed it out to Prize a few times before that they don't have a solid bagger in UK. Nico's been taking up that role lately, and just hoping that they can do well. Neon, I guess they were arguing if he was going to be the bagger or not. But if they have Joe, Tubi, and Racer playing
Yeah.
for them, they do have a good shot at
I
winning
think
Division
UK
2.
definitely have a good shot to win this division. I mean, they've got Toby, who's been in Inspire, he's a good player. Neon, I'm in Berserk with him, I've raced with him a few times, he's good. They've got Ryuga, who's obviously a strong player. Joseph's obviously strong, they've got like Racer. I just think that
Yep.
Underground Kings definitely, if they pull out like a good lineup, I think any of their lineups can definitely do well in this division. They don't have any weak players really.
Yeah, to finish up their roster, they have Prize, Ryuga, and I have no idea how to pronounce Janny, and this guy. I have no idea. Queagle? I have no idea how to pronounce his name,
I
but
think he's from Luxembourg. I'm not.
I
100%
think he
sure.
is.
yeah, he is from
He's good.
Luxembourg.
Oh,
But yeah, I definitely think the Underground Kings can do well. So, I guess we've talked about each team individually. So, I guess we'll start with Vale again. What do you think will go down in Division 2 predictions wise?
Oh man, okay, I think Avil's definitely gonna win. I think they have the D1 experience, even though they don't do well in D1. They're like a D1.5. They're not exactly D2. They're not D1. Just put them in the middle, and if they put them in the lower division, they're definitely gonna do well in it. So I think Avil's gonna win the division, followed by UK. I have like a good feeling in UK that they'll actually pull out some great matches. They have great chemistry together. They played a lot during the winter break. I have seen them play
Yeah.
like every single hour. There's one war going on for UK. I think I'm gonna place Berserk, Sean Morris as the third place. Team Gun probably in fourth, probably third if they pull out a better lineup, like the Dreamland we said. Xenu, Jeff, and Yuzora playing at the same time. I won't say anything about Kinetic Energy because they are the same clan as I am. I think UT1 will finish at the bottom of the division, if not fifth, because I just don't think they're gonna cut out in D2.
Yeah. Astro or Tom?
I'll
Which one do you
go. I think it's going to be very close between 4 teams, and those 4 teams are Vale, Sean Mower's Gun, and Kinetic Energy. I'm not too sure if Underground Kings without a bagger would do too well, and at the same time, quite a few of the players that were on their lineup, like they're not the most active players.
Yeah.
And whereas we've seen Vale were able to hold their own last season in Div 1, they only went 307, which isn't too bad for a team that wasn't really meant to be seeded in Div 1. Like, a 307 in Div 1 is the equivalent to being like a 604 in Div 2, which was second place last season.
Yeah.
And Sean Mowers, I think, will probably get like second or third. They're not as strong as they used to be. They've still got bagging in you, but at the same time, you've lost Ryan,
Yeah.
you've lost
losing Ryan and
Vincent.
is probably gonna hurt us a lot.
They were the 2 kind of big players, the biggest threats, and I think Gun will be fighting for that spot with you. Of course, as we've said, very experienced team. It's just a matter of how active they are, and Kinetic Energy is kind of the exact same. It's a matter of how well they play together, how active people end up being, because they're all capable teams. It's just a matter of how they perform together, and I honestly think Avail will come up top. It will probably be Gun in second, Sean Mowers third, Kinetic Energy fourth, depending on if they can get people like Alvin to play. If they get
Nope.
Alvin to play, they'll come up a
Nope.
lot higher. But
He's
as
not.
Vale said,
Nope.
nope. And then Underground Kings probably fifth. As I say, we're not too sure if they've got a bagger, and Untouchables 1, I'd probably say last. Given the fact that I honestly see both Untouchables teams as Division 3, if not the other team Division 2. I'm not sure Untouchables' first team is actually a Division 2 team. I think if Anarchy was in Division 2,
D3.
if Anarchy was in Division 2, we could maybe argue that people like Trippy Sam could do okay, and they do have players. Like, both teams have very strong players, but I don't think Untouchables 1 has enough of a share
I think they
of
could have
them.
stacked their D2 team a bit more.
They should have stacked one of the teams, because it looks like their second team looks like it's trying to win a division, but
And this
Untouchables
one-
1 is kind of the short straw, because you said Aaron was playing for Untouchables 1. He actually got transferred to Untouchables 2 today as well.
Oh, really? Oh, God.
Yeah. So they're
That's
down
definitely-
Aaron as well.
Oh, that's unfortunate for them.
Yeah, so-
Astro, do you have anything you want to add on to that? Give your own.
All right. Well, before I get into my prediction, I'm just gonna say this right now. I think you guys are completely underestimating UT1 in a sense.
Mhm.
And okay, let me justify what I'm thinking here.
Okay.
So, we have people in UT, like, we're seeing people like Slide, Ant, Neo. The list can go on, right? And the thing is if they can consistently get all 3 of these people in the same lineup in a consistent basis, UT could easily be in the top 3, and if
Yeah.
not, maybe even closer. And even if they like miss Neo, Slide, or Ant, maybe one of the weeks, which I don't ever think I've seen Slide miss a week of CSL. Regardless, at this point,
Yeah, he does have a
I
lag.
think, yeah, I think UT can actually pull this together, and like I was saying earlier, this could be potentially another one of the closest divisions we'll see.
Yeah.
And even though, from what we were talking about before, yeah, also UT has Crypto as well. But what we were talking about before, how AV has the D1 experience, I do agree. I do think UT is strong enough to be a top 3 team. Do I think they can win? I don't think so. But once again, anything's possible. Also, looking at UT, they have some of the most diverse lineups of baggers that possibly Weemfi can offer, and I think UT can pull it off and actually upset and be different and show off what they can really do in Division 2.
I think
So-
Sane's bagging for UT1.
I think that's fair
So-
enough. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So my final prediction is going to be Avail, Gun, UT1, UK, Kinetic Energy, and Berserk.
That's fair enough.
Ooh.
Well, going off what Astro said, I definitely agree with him, as he said that this division is really close. And I mean, if we go back 2 seasons, there was a match where against Untouchables and Charge Brigade Silver when they were both in D2, and Untouchables completely blew out CB Silver that match, and that was like one of the biggest, I guess, upsets that season. So definitely, if they pull out their consistent lineup, obviously Slide is most likely going to play a lot. Neo is a good player. I definitely think that, as you said, this is going to be a close division. I still think that Untouchables are like not as good as you like match them up to Avail. I agree with everyone here that Avail are most likely going to win this division just because they do have some D1 experience. I mean, obviously they don't have like their best players like Shade, etc. But I'm not gonna seed Berserk 2 in this because I play for them. But I think Avail are probably going to win the division. I'm going to give second to Gun. Third to probably Underground. I think Underground, Kings, Kinetic Energy, and Untouchables can all come quite close, but Division MVP I'm going to go give to Tekken. Straight bias, because Tekken's the best, but I think that's enough for D2, as we just said, that this is just like D1. All the teams are really close. Anyone can win it. And
You know, I'm gonna say Dave's gonna MVP the division. I think he
Dave.
plays a lot. Dave, yeah.
Tom, do you have a div MVP?
I think it'll be Slide. I have a suspicion that he'll probably carry UT quite a bit. Like, as much as I don't want to say that UT are, like, without him are going to fail,
Yeah.
I think Slide will probably be the main reason that UT get wins if they do, because we've seen him for season after season. He's been producing hundreds of points, and I think he's probably the best shot of a most consistent player in the whole division.
He definitely puts up them points and regularly.
Yeah.
As Slide just said, he can't play on blue lines, so we can't win.
Ah,
That's unfortunate for him.
that's no megas for
White
Slide.
line Slide, no megas. And I guess that's wrapped up for D2, so going on to the third division now. if
That's
you wanna-
Division
Oh, Division
do you wanna
3,
say
okay. No, I just want to leave. I want to go to sleep.
Oh, you're
It's
gonna...
4 o'clock.
Vale's, yeah, fair enough. to
4
Val.
AM.
He is here at 4 in the morning, so... shout out to
And I have
him.
school in 2 hours.
He has school, so... Shout outs to
I
Vale
wait.
for actually staying up.
All right. See you guys. Good luck. Good luck to everyone at CSL, by the way. See you guys next time.
Yeah, please.
Thank you very much for joining us.
What a hero. Up at 4 in the morning when he's got school.
What a
for 2 hours.
bloke.
Alrighty. Division 3. We got Battle Alliance, Clan Thunder, Quintessence, the Sodiumers or the Survivors, Untouchables, Anarchy 2, and Wollywogs 2. And Quintessence wasn't in D3. They just got moved up,
Yeah,
and they were replaced by Midnight Wasps, who've been dropped down to D4.
One important thing I'd also mention is if Clan Thunder do not get 8 within the next about 4 hours, then Uka Shichibukai will have that spot. So we'll have to discuss them.
To get their 8th registered, but they're really cutting it down to the wire since they do have only a few hours.
They literally have hours to get a registry gone through.
Yeah. But I guess we'll start off with Battle Alliance, seeing that's the top of the list right now. So,
Yeah.
Battle Alliance, I honestly, like, straight up, I'm just going to say that this division, I think, is between Battle Alliance and Wollywogs 2. I just think that if Clan Thunder do get their 8th and get seeded, I don't think that they're going to be able to match up to these teams. I just think that them two teams, I think it's like, these two teams is probably like the biggest skill gap in a division. I just think that they're a lot better than the other teams. I mean, they've got Dugo, Rambo, Lackey, the Linkus, Mystery, they're all good players.
They also have Jamie as well, and Jamie's been doing great for BA as well.
Jamie for him as well.
Yeah, that's where he quit
Jamie's-
LT for.
Well, there you go.
Jamie's registered for BA, and Jamie's going to be a huge asset to BA just from looking at what he's been doing on their thread lately. It's just wow, just what he's been doing, and he's set the bar pretty high for himself if he does play consistently in the division.
But going on to the other team I was talking about is Wollywogs 2. Wollywogs 2, I'm pretty sure they won Division 3 last time, which is fair enough. They didn't get seeded up into Division 2 because... They won Division 3, sorry. They didn't get seeded up to Division 2 since I think they lost a few players. I know Kayla, or Anks, went up to D1. But their D2 lineup, they have Tommy, who I'm pretty sure he's going to be bagging for this season. King.
Actually, no, it's a weird situation.
It's a weird situation, isn't it?
I was messaged about 30 minutes ago. Eirik is bagging the home matches because home matches, they get the choice of if it's trolling or not.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to
Eric's a
choose
really good
troll.
Yeah, Eric's a really good
And King's going to bag for away matches if it's regular suicide.
I think that's fair enough. But going off that, they have Tommy and Eirik, who just found out they're going to be baggers. They've got Edison. They've got Quinn, who I think is their standout player. They've got Jasko and Kuzan. So I think that Wollywogs 2 and Battle Alliance are just above everyone else. I don't want to say, like, obviously that other teams can't win it, because they might, but I just think that them two teams are above everyone else. I mean, we've got Clan Thunder, Quintessence, the Sodiumers. I think people are sleeping on SU a lot lately, since they've been around for 2 years, and they have, like, probably, like, next to Gun and MOI, they have, like, some of the best chemistry out of any team that I've seen. So I think that they can definitely do well in this division as well.
I think one important thing, though, is that they may have the best chemistry and they may have been together the most, but they have had the most drama. Like, they have had, like, death after death after death in between seasons, and they've tried to fight back, and it's quite amazing that they're still around, given how much of a problem they had just a season or two ago, where they were looking like they'd die quite a lot. Like, they died and they came straight back.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what was going on with that stuff, but
there's quite a few people in that lineup that just a few months ago might have said a lot of different things about survivors. Like,
who do we have signed up for them? They've got
Alex, Shamron, Kirito, Apollo, Futile, Quinton, Simon, Azuma, Yoshi, Jose, and Alpha.
I think Futile and Quinton can, like, put up points decently. I'm not sure how seriously they take their scrim matches. I know that they're they're pretty like chill clan. So obviously, I'm not too sure if they do like full on bagging suicide practice wars, but I've seen Quinton and Futile put up a decent amount of points. So I still think that they're gonna be decent in this division. But as I
The
was saying,
biggest stiff looking at players like Futile and Quinton is that yes, they can put up points, but they're not consistent at it.
yeah, because it's like sometimes they'll just throw out like a 120, but then other times they just throw out like a 60 or something. So, I mean, on their good day, is kind of we're just talking about consistency. If they have a really good day and a good match and they just work well together, then I definitely think that they could beat some of the higher teams as like BA and WZ in this division. But
yeah.
what other teams do we have? We haven't really talked about Quintessence. If anyone really wants to go off on them.
Last season, Quintessence did okay in bottom division. Let me look at how well they did.
Jazz has signed up for EXO, by the way, Nick.
So last season they got third. I'm not sure what happened in terms of moving them up. I know Midnight Wasps wanted to be moved down, but Quintessence lost Lackey and have been moved up as a reward. So that's
Not 100% sure what happened.
no.
Lucky was like
They
one
lost
of their
their
best players along with
they lost
Solar,
one of
so-
the biggest players and they've been awarded with a move up.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm not sure. I mean, Quintessence, like, I don't want to say inconsistent. I just don't know much about Quintessence. I think that they can do well. and,
Sometimes they're
people
like
do sleep on a lot of their players, but I'm not just 100% sure on how well they'll be able to do against like the top teams in this division.
sometimes they're a great team, sometimes they're really not. Which is it's the same with a lot of the Division 3 and 4 teams. Sometimes they can be great, sometimes they're not. Like, you could say that about nearly any team in the bottom few divisions, is that their main issue is consistency. I mean, QNT have got Goomba. That's a player that used to be in quite a few clans, used to be very strong, so it'll be interesting to see how he's coming back. They've also got people like Solar still, they've got DBG still. So they've got some of the big players, it's just a matter of can they work around those players and can they keep consistent, because some, like I say, some matches they were really strong, some matches they kind of fell at the first hurdle.
Yeah, definitely. But who else have we got in this division? Have we talked the Untouchable second team? Since I guess Astro, you can talk about this one since I guess you know UT the most since you were talking about the UT first team. Do you know anything about the second team?
Well, I know the UT second. I don't know how UT necessarily divided their teams. If they did all of the better people in UT 1 and all of the lesser in 2. I'm not sure if that's the case for UT 1 and 2. I'm not necessarily sure who's in UT 2 rather than just Aaron, because that's what you guys were talking about earlier.
I will say it's Trippy Sam, Lifeboat, Sammy, as in the Scottish one, Shady, Hayes, Ben, Ken, Bluck, Edge, Seas, Eddie, and Aaron.
Okay.
I think
So
that's pretty good.
It's probably
it's pretty solid, and they can do with that just general player base alone, then you can kind of get a little bit of an idea that they'll be able to do something in this division. And I think once again what we're going to be seeing again is UT being a contender for a top team in this division, but it's all going to come down to how they play, and players themselves don't really speak for how a clan is going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially.
because that player base, it's great having a good player base, but out of them, not many of them play together. Like,
It literally all comes down to chemistry and how
it
they
does.
play together and
And
teamwork.
I don't think we've seen many of them in leagues before play with each other. I mean, we've seen people like Trippy Sam and Sammy at SU and Insurgents and clans like that. Edge was at XF last season.
Yeah.
Aaron and Eddie, of course, play together, but it's a matter of stringing pairs of people together to make lineups that work. Because there aren't 5 distinct people that know each other well enough where they can perform as a team.
That's why, like, going off what you just said about chemistry and teamwork, that's exactly the point why I'm putting Wollywogs and Battle Alliance in the top 2 spots, because I know that Wollywogs has been around for years now, and the second team, obviously, they've been doing practice wars and they play with each other a decent amount, and I've warred with Battle Alliance a few times allying and warred against them, and they definitely also have teamwork, so that's, like, the main reason why I think that they're going to win this, just because teamwork and chemistry and how you actually use shots is so important, and some people really do just underrate it. But I think we've talked about every Division 3 team, so I guess we'll go on to predictions now. If Tom, you wanna?
I'll start. I think, given last season, I think Wollywogs will get first. I think their decision to, now that trolling's a thing again, their decision to bring back Eirik as a kind of troll bagger is probably quite smart. And the thing about Wollywogs too, unlike a lot of the other clans, is that they have a few baggers. You know, they're not just relying on one person to be the bagger the whole time. They've got a wide variety of talents in bagging. They've got a good troll, they've got a good overlap, they've got a good no overlap. So I think they're going to get first, coming very close with Battle Alliance in second. As we know, tried and tested team, effectively has some ex-NS members as well now, with people like Jamie. And then I think it'll be a battle between UT, the Sodiumers, for 3-4. This is, of course, given that Clan Thunder is around. Because UT's a strong team, but I'm not sure their chemistry's good enough. And the Sodiumers, it's kind of the same. Like, they play together, but I'm not sure they play together, but although they act like friends, I'm not sure their kind of chemistry's great. It's strange saying that, but
Yeah.
they all know each other, but they don't have the greatest of chemistry. Because I've seen times when people do indiv quite a lot from SU. I watch a few SU wars when I go on Twitch, and there are a few people that have made indiv calls before. It's kind of a matter of, can they benefit the team enough? Hello, I'm saying that.
No, it was Astro about his pronunciation of a certain clan. Next time.
And then there's Quintessence, who I think will probably get 5th. They're a strong team. It's just a matter of if they can hold on. And then Clan Thunder probably last. But as I say, if Uka Shichibukai comes on, I think we should probably discuss them actually, because it looks like we might get them.
Well, if anyone wasn't here for when we were talking about it, basically there's a predicament here where Clan Thunder currently only have 7 registered. So if they don't get an 8th registered by their deadline, there's actually going to be a team replacing them by the name of
Uka Shichibukai, which is effectively half of Latin America.
So basically, yeah, that's pretty much just Team LTA. So I think that if they do actually end up getting...
If they play, they're going to get in a top 3 spot.
Yeah, I think that they're a good team.
They're probably D2 material, and people wanted to move them up to D2, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen, given that... I think it would have been UT that would have moved down, and UT didn't want 2 teams in the same division.
Yeah.
Which is probably going to kill UT1, to be fair, because UT1 in Div 3 would be quite good. UT1 in Div 2, it's a bit more iffy, but I guess that's the luck of the draw, and that's how they wanted it.
If they put players like Aaron and Eddie on Team 1, because Eddie's such an experienced bagger and he's played with UT quite a lot, I think if they had them players all in the Team 1, then I think they'd do a lot better than their current roster.
Yeah.
I guess that's Tom's predictions. If Astro, you want to go on with yours if you have any for this division.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and piece this all together for you guys. I'm gonna put the Battle Alliance at number 1. A close second, this could change, and I would be totally open if WZ2 took first instead. I'm just thinking how it's going. I think Wollywogs 2 is going to get second. In third, I'm going to place the Sodiumers. Fourth, UT Anarchy 2. Quintessence, and then Clan Thunder. Putting Clan Thunder last because nobody really knows if they're going to be playing or not.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough predictions. I think that I'm just pretty much going to agree with you two. I think that, unfortunately, Quintessence did get bumped up a division, which I don't think was 100% fair, and I'm not sure if they wanted it, but...
No, they really didn't.
Yeah, obviously they've lost Lucky, which is, like, arguably their best player, so... I'm not sure if Clan Thunder and Quintessence are going to be able to do as good as the other teams. I definitely think, once again, that it's going to be either Battle Alliance or Wollywogs first. I'm going to give it to Battle Alliance just because I think that they play better together. But as you said about the whole bagging thing with Eirik in trolling rules, if they do end up winning their trolling war against Battle Alliance, then that will help them. And I just think that UT2 and the Sodium is going to be a close third and fourth as well. So
actually, that's a good.
That wraps up Division 3.
That's a good shout. Who's the BA bagger? Beto, is it?
I think Beto's going to be bagging more than likely.
Because I'm not sure he's the strongest of baggers, so he probably would lose to Eirik in a trolling. Because I think Eirik played Beto before in a match that we did cast, and Eirik effectively said Beto was quite easy to play against when he did it last time. So we'll see.
Let Dugo bag. Easy.
Can't. Profit. Hashtag money.
Should we move on to D4 or?
Alrighty.
So
This is the one I've been waiting for.
Yep, it's the one you know the most about.
It's the one I know the least
Yeah.
about. I have no idea about at all.
Okay. So we've got Division 4,
Alrighty.
which is
I guess Astro,
Explorers
you
of
can lead off.
Time. We'll
So,
let Astro go with Unbroken.
Alrighty. So we're gonna start this off with all of our teams for Division 4. Explorers of Time, Legendary Phoenix, Moi, Multiverse, Quintessence, and Unbroken.
You've read Quintessence and it's Midnight Wasps.
Feels bad.
The graphic says Midnight Wasps! The graphic says Midnight Wasps!
I'm looking at the CSL thread. This
No!
Midnight Wasps. I'm sorry. I'm fired. I'll tell Katie to give me a warband.
You will be given the warning. The new warning
We'll be
system.
getting the 3 warbands.
Unfortunately, Quintessence aren't in this division, as he just said. It is Midnight Wasp, since they did get changed. But I don't know
No.
much about this division. I know that Explorers of Time is basically Lost in Time.
It's
I'm not sure how well did they do in D4 Lost.
not well.
Not too well.
Not too well. Let's look at them as they got 208, and I think one of them was a forfeit.
No, don't shame him, man.
Don't
I think
shame my own
it's like-
team.
I really don't know much. I know that Explorers of Time is basically LT, and I was in LT for a bit, and I know players like Jazz, Connor, Zagler, Sabby. They do play well together. I'm not sure who their actual bagger is. I'm not sure
It's
if Sabby bags that much anymore. too.
Sabby, I think, would probably be the most likely, but at the same time, if I play, it would probably be me because I'm terrible at the game.
And we have Moi. Don't worry, I said it right, Ruby.
Moi.
I think that Moi.
Moi.
Please remember-
Don't say that.
Please remember, small case M.
Yeah, you're triggering all the Finnish people watching. I can't. But obviously, Moi didn't do that well last season. But looking at that Division 3 compared to the last Division 3 compared to this Division 4, I think it's going to be a lot easier for him. Ruby's obviously their standout player, who's most likely going to be dropping 150s everywhere. I think he's probably going to just Division MVP, but I think that Moi could definitely do well. And against the teams that we're looking at here, we've got Multiverse, who I'm not really sure if Multiverse have done like a competitive league before. I know that it's a really big clan and they play with each other a lot.
It's a massive clan and they've got like
Yes.
20 registered players.
I'm just not sure if they're actually going to be able to like do anything to get into like the top spots. I think this is between Unbroken and Moi.
One thing I will say to defend MT is they've got Spade, they've got Oh Yeah, who was in UT, they've got Erupt, they've got Crusher with a K, they've got Zesty, they've got Bobby. It's not the worst. It's not the worst Division 4 team. It's got a few talented players. It's just a matter of where's everyone else gone? Because other
Who are
than
we talking about here with Bobby?
we've got Bobby registered for Multiverse.
Do we?
We do.
Why is Bobby playing for Multiverse? Oh,
I'm not sure.
that's interesting.
I would be registered if EXO weren't playing. I would say that much because I am in MT.
But I mean, I feel bad because I don't know much about like individual players, but I don't have much to talk about like in the clans themselves. I know that Moi's been around for quite a while. They've played, I think this is their 3rd or 4th season now, so they definitely have chemistry. That's why I'm going to place them up there. You've got Unbroken, which is kind of Daughters of the Amazon. Obviously, we've got Astro, KD, Joel, I think. So they have a few decent players, which is probably why I'm going to put them in the top 2 as well. Legendary Phoenix, they kind of have like an old Vikings lineup. They have like a lot of old German players who I'm just not sure if they like play enough actively to.
I don't think they can.
Like, they have
I don't
experience,
think.
but I just don't think they're active enough to be able to come in the top spots.
The last
Midnight
time I heard of
Wasps, I
Snipe
think
was
that-
years ago.
Midnight Wasps got a 406, which honestly isn't that bad. But I think that if they play well, they can get a decent thing. I'm not too sure about their actual players. I'm actually going to look up the Midnight Wasps lineup.
I think this. Don't quote me on this, but I think the reason as to why that they were moved up is because Bounty is in their
Oh
lineup.
yeah, shout outs to Bounty's in like. I was like, I don't know why he like went to D4. But I know
Well, he
that-
did
I
it with
think-
EPC, didn't he, a few
yeah,
years
I think
ago?
he was planning to quit the game after the whole flow in D2 thing, but
He just turned around and went,
yeah,
Midnight
he just
Wasps!
decided that he's playing for Midnight Wasps now. So, a complete thanks for actually bringing that up. But Teeples or Bounties, I think, is going to be one of their best players. I'm not sure how much MKW he plays. I know he runs Arcadia. I think he runs Arcadia for MK8,
He
so I know
does.
he's more focused on that game. But he's still a player with a lot of bagging experience, a lot of running experience, and just experience in general. So, I think that you just bringing that up, yeah, I think that Midnight Wasps can do well. I mean, they have Embrez, they have Nick, they do have players who have like been around for a decent amount of time and have played in leagues before, so I do think that they can do well, but I just think that obviously the Moi and Unbroken are just above everyone else currently. Does anyone have anything to say individually about a clan, or do you just want to go into the predictions for this?
I mean, Unbroken, there are a few things that I would say. First off, I think Astro's got work when the normal time is, so we might not be seeing him.
Oh god, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and whereas we have said that they've got a strong lineup,
Mhm.
I heard from KD's plan was to play either Astro or Mine Bagging, both of which have been in.
I'm not
Top
sure
tier
why you want
clans.
Astro bagging.
I'm not sure why you want Mine Bagging. He was in Forever Onward and he played quite well when it came
He's a
to.
decent player, been in forever and with him.
He's been very good. I mean, in LT and
Who bagged for them last season? Because I'm not sure if Chloe played with them since the start, but I know Chloe was doing a bit of bagging. But if they don't have like a clear bagger, like obviously if they're gonna have to sacrifice someone like Astro or Mine, like you were saying, to play back there, then they're gonna throw out quite a lot of running potential that they do have. So I'm not 100% sure. I just think that Ruby's just
Ruby
he's
MVP.
He's a Division 1 player.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Division 1 player in D4, so I think that he's going to be the main reason why Moi does well. But you can't one man carry a team to victory, obviously. So I don't want to like saying that Ruby's going to carry them. I don't want to say it like that because I know that they have a lot of other good players. Like Itu's a good player. I have no idea how to pronounce all their names. So I'm sorry.
Luna, TB.
Puffet, Puff.
Let's pronounce him Puffet. We've got One Up, which I can't pronounce. We've got Tom Sue, we've got Mickey, and we've got
How
Soup.
do you say? Yeah, how do you say? I don't know how to pronounce it. Sweet. He is good.
Let's go with Soup.
Yeah, I think a lot of players like sleep on him because I have seen him. Like, I'm not sure. Was it TB, the other Finnish clan?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in Team Banana, and he like put up a decent amount of points. I think they did another league, one of the small clan leagues, like the 3v3 leagues, and he put up a lot of points. So shoutouts to him, because a lot of people like do sleep on other of Moy's members just because Ruby's like their main player.
I'm not sure why people sleep on 1UP either, because a few years ago he was like an up and coming player. He was a very, very good player, and I think he used to record quite a lot, and he was one of the main like uploaders on YouTube of content, I believe. Was he one of the people that used to make montages? I'm not too sure. But
Who?
1UP.
I'm not too sure. I don't really.
Oh
follow.
yeah, 1UP, yeah.
Yeah.
He used to do quite a bit of the editing.
And he is quite a talented player, so he's also one to kind of look out for if he does play.
Well, Ruby's just said that 1UP doesn't play that much anymore, which is.
I know he's gone to, I think, Pokemon ROM hacking. I think I saw him on DeviantArt doing that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw his work. It's quite good.
Yeah. But yeah, going back onto the basis of MKW, I guess we'll give our predictions now since we've covered as much as we can about Division 4. So, Tom, I guess you can start.
Okay, I think, unsurprisingly, it's going to be a fight for Moi and Unbroken in top 2.
Yeah.
The reason I think Unbroken will probably edge their way against Moi. Main reason, Moi has one front runner and a few people that we're not too sure about. Unbroken has quite a few people that have shown their worth in the division. You know, they're people that have played in the division. They kind of know how Division 4 works. And whereas Moi kind of have played Division 4...
Moi, stop saying
Moi.
Moi. They
Sorry,
hate it. They
sorry.
hate it.
Moi, not the Ultimate Noob Clan like they used to be. Moi.
I remember when they were called that. And then
Yeah.
they hated us calling them.
Yeah,
Right.
so Moi are unfortunately getting second on my predictions because whereas Ruby is there, you know, we're not sure where these other people are coming from. Like E2, I know is a good bagger, but other than that, you know, we've seen the other players play, but they don't score amazingly well. Like, it's a matter of if they can up their game well enough, because I know Division 4 for them might seem a bit easier than last season was.
Yeah.
Um,
They have been in... Division 3 was the bottom division 2 seasons ago, where they had all of them annoying penalties.
yeah.
And then they came second that time to Rosalina because of that. But then they
Unfortunately,
did...
purple bandana penalties.
Purple bandanas. That was awful. But then they played in practically the same division the next season and won that. So they are a team who's experienced winning before, and I just think that it's either them or Unbroken, as you said.
I
Then
think
you've got Legendary Phoenix, etc.
I think third would probably be. I want to say Legendary Phoenix because they have. If they do get the Weekings kind of lineup, they are quite a strong team. It's just a matter of have they played enough to kind of get back to their old talent. Because
Yeah.
Weekings used to be a very good clan.
I played against them in International League, and they were definitely a good clan.
They
I'm
were
just
a
not
very
sure if
good
they,
clan.
Like, play as much as they do. So I'm
And
not sure if they're going to be good enough. Just because of activity really hurts.
I think I would put Explorers of Time in fourth, given that we've seen how well some of the players can play, and given the lineup, like, it's quite a strong lineup. It's not as, like, I think Nick said it a few minutes ago that Explorers of Time is effectively LT, like, better.
Yeah.
Because
Without the inactives, I guess.
they've added a lot of people. They've got rid of inactives.
And they've got like Boom, etc., who's like leader debilitate. He's a good player, so.
And, yeah. I think then we're going to have Multiverse. I believe that Multiverse, with the players that they've got, if they can get a lineup that know I'm trying to explain it for Azuma as well, because I know he wanted to hear a bit, but Multiverse have got 20 players. If they can get...
20?
Yes. If they can get a good 5... if they
I mean,
can
if
get
we
a
look
good
over it
5...
real quick,
they've got Bobby.
Zago's a good player.
They've got Bobby, Zago, Oh Yeah, Toxic, Erupt. Mason's not that bad. Zesty.
That's the thing about Multiverse, though. I know that like they have the players. It just seems like a really big community chat where
It is a
like,
friend
you can
clan,
just be friends with
effectively.
yeah, you can just be friends with someone in there and get added. So I'm not too sure. Like, I don't know if they practice because I haven't seen Multiverse like warring that much.
They don't war that much. But,
So definitely think that along with Legendary Phoenix, the fact that they don't play as much as the other teams is going to hurt them. So my predictions are pretty much just going to be agreed with Tom. I think that once again, same as D3, there's 2 teams which just outclass everyone else, which is obviously Moi and Unbroken. I think Explorers of Time probably will get 3rd because they have the players to be able to. I'm not too sure about Legendary Phoenix, Midnight Wasps, and Multiverse because they just don't play as much as the other teams are. Midnight Wasps are a strong MK8 team, and they focus on MK8 quite a lot, so I'm not too sure how many Wii wars they've played recently. So that's going to be my predictions. If Astro, you want to do yours, I guess?
Okay, well, I don't want to like essentially do this because it's gonna make me sound like super cocky and arrogant. And it's like,
Unbroken
oh, well,
first.
You don't have to list
We're gonna-
Unbroken if you don't want to. But
we're gonna fucking win. Like we're gonna no, I'm kidding.
there you go.
But essentially, here's what I think. I think in the top 2, I think it's pretty evident. I think what you guys are saying is right and it makes sense. I definitely do think Unbroken and Moi will be in the top 2.
Moi!
Noi!
In 3rd, I think we're going to be seeing Midnight Wasps in 3rd, followed by Legendary Phoenix, Explorers of Time, and then Multiverse.
I think they're fair enough predictions, but yeah, I just completely agree with you two. Then the fact that them 2 teams more than likely are just gonna win or battle for that 1st place. But now we have everyone's most interesting division in the world that clearly everyone cares about.
The
I'm not
Mega
the only-
Mushroom.
I'm not the only one that cares about the custom tracks, man. It feels bad.
I used
But
to.
we have the custom track division.
Well,
Alright.
fortunately, all 3 of us played, or we used to play, so we
Used to.
know.
So I think the CT division this time is like really different. I mean, we've got Gun and Wollywogs who like I've never seen any of them play custom tracks in my life.
No.
And we have Relapse, as you can see,
10-0.
they played last season and they got a 10-0. Relapse, I'm just gonna say it straight up. I think Relapse are gonna 10-0 again. Like they just have such good players. We got division MVP from Xander last season, sorry, and Proto came 3rd on the Indiv. So I just think that they have such a good experience with custom tracks because the 2 main custom track clans around have arguably been Relapse and Final Stand, and I've heard recently that obviously Final Stand have dropped out of this division this time. I think it's mainly because they just don't find the game as fun as they used to, and they just don't have the time, I guess.
They don't like 5v5 war sizes.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's a thing to note actually, but it used to be a 4v4 default size, but now it's been changed to 5v5. So I know suicide bagging isn't like massive in custom track division, but it
Relapse
does.
do it.
Relapse do it. Don't worry. But I know that Chrome's been bagging on custom tracks, and like I find it really interesting because like it's really I don't know any of these backstrats. Like I see Chrome do all of these backstrats on like some of the tracks that I didn't even know were like possible. So I just think that Relapse are going to do well. Obviously, we've got 2 other teams which were in last season as well, which is Twitch Emotes and Yowndrift. And as you can see from the table there, they both finished with 5 wins and 5 losses. So I think that once again, them 2 are most likely going to come 2nd and 3rd, just because of the fact that they have experience. I really don't know much about Team Gun and Wollywogs, which is like really interesting to me. And like being the CT admin, I don't want to like be biased or anything, but I don't know if they're going to be able to like do as well as these other like well done, like that's another word, but like, they're already custom track clans who have like made a name for themselves and know the tracks. So And then we have the Sodiumers, which is the survivors.
I think they're one to watch out for because they have
Yeah.
got players
They do
that.
have previous experience. They just haven't played as a team in the custom track.
I mean, Simon has like 1 million BKTs, or he
Yeah,
used to.
Simon's like a really underrated player when it comes to actually like custom tracks. He's got a lot of BKTs. If we go to the CT registry, actually, real quick.
It's Joshua, Jazz,
Joshua,
Simon,
Jazz,
Yoshi, Futile,
Sam.
Trippy,
Yeah, Trippy Sam.
Jose.
Why don't they have Sammy? Well, who's Sammy playing for? Yeah, Trippy Sam's a good custom track player. Simon's a good custom track player. I know that I've played a few custom track worldwides and wars with Jazz, and he knows his general whereabouts on most of the tracks. So I still think that they can do well, but I just don't know about Wollywogs and Gun. Like, obviously, Wollywogs, they have good players. Like, they have Division 1 players from, like, reg tracks. Like, they have TK, Killua, Jax, who all have, like, really good lines, but I'm just not sure. You need a lot more. I think you need a lot more than just lines on custom tracks.
One thing I will say though, when Relapse started as a custom track clan, no one thought they'd be good.
That's true, and now look at them.
They just thought, oh, it's just a load of Daisy users and it's just like Brian, Xander, Arceus players like that, but they've 10-0'd.
Exactly, yeah. They 10-0'd last season, and they did it with, like, confidence. As you can see there, they got a plus 1,700 point differential.
Most of them thanks to sweaters and Lost in the Sky.
Lost in the Sky Sweaters unfortunately didn't have
Negative
best time.
1,800 plus.
Well, that means they won by an average of 170 each match, which is like an insane statistic. So I don't see anyone taking it from Relapse. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to straight up 10-0 the division. I mean, Twitch emotes, obviously they have good players like Viper. Viper's got, I think he's got a lot of BKTs. He's a really good custom track player. Yowndrift, someone that people, like a team that people sleep on. They've got Embrez is a good custom track player. Myth, Shamron plays a lot. What else do they have? Sammy. Oh, Sammy actually plays for Yowndrift. Storm. So I think that Yowndrift and Twitch emotes are going to get that second and third. But I'm not too sure about Gun and Wollywogs.
One thing I would say, I think Shamron has net issues sometimes, so it will be interesting to see if he can actually get into the team. Because I think, along with Nicholas, I think Shamron has those kind of issues where he can't join or he's toxic sometimes. Nicholas is a free agent though, so hopefully Shamron's net isn't as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
But I know he had a few issues back in the day.
Oh yeah, Storm's actually on. Oh man, about who's Storm player? Wait. Oh yeah, Storm transferred
Twitch
to
emotes.
I forgot about that. Apologies for that. But yeah, Storm's on Twitch emotes, and obviously he's been playing custom tracks for a decent amount of time. And once again, you were talking about Gun in Division 2, how they have a massive roster. They basically have that same roster.
They've moved the whole roster.
They've moved their whole roster, so I mean, I literally have not seen a single Gun member play a custom track, so that'll be interesting to say the least. I don't want it to like end up as it was like last season, where there's just complete domination with two teams over the rest. So hopefully they do know their custom tracks well, and obviously they might be able to practice. And then got a week until it starts.
In defense of Gun, I think I've seen a couple of them in Worldwides before, or CT Worldwide, sorry. I'm not sure I've seen many, but I've seen Nico in a few, I think. I've seen... That's the thing. They're all, like... Quite a lot of Gun are Daisy users, aren't they? So...
Like Shark, essentially.
And Daisy... I know on CTs it's not as dominant as it used to be back in 2011.
Funky bass tracks.
But, yeah... There are still some tracks that you can take advantage with Daisy, and... Daisy's still a usable character.
Yeah. But obviously, like, as I was just saying about Relapse, like, I guess I'll do my predictions first this time, but I just think that Relapse, like, everyone in the community knows that there's them Relapse tracks where they just pick and they're, like, so good at it. It's like tracks like Horror Mansion where just, like, when I wore them, they just pick them kind of tracks and they're just really good at it. There's that one track as well which has, like, a star-shaped map. They're really good at that, so I think that this division is most likely just going to be Relapse winning. I'm more than likely going to give
Skyway.
Yeah.
Headlong Skyway. I'm more than likely going to give second to Twitch emotes, then Yowndrift, then the Sodiumers, and then just because I don't know much about Wollywogs and Team Gun, I'm going to put them in the bottom 2. Obviously, I can't really say much about them because I've never seen them play custom tracks, and custom tracks is real different to reg tracks. So they're going to be my predictions. If Tom, you want to?
Yeah, I'll go. Overall, I think it's quite an interesting division given how many new clans there are. Like, some of them were last-minute joins as well. Like, going into it a few weeks ago, we thought there'd only be like 3 clans. But I think, as you said, Relapse gonna do very well. Gonna get first again, probably. And then I reckon it's gonna be tight in 2, 3, 4 between the Sodiumers, Twitch Emotes, and Yowndrift. I think what we saw with Yowndrift last season and Twitch Emotes was that they had skilled players, but sometimes they didn't use them as well as they probably could have.
Yeah.
Like, both of them went 5-0-5. Like, it was a matter of really, really close matches, and like, the only difference between them was really that one of them had like a bonus point, and that was what gave Yowndrift third. But I think the Sodiumers have enough skill where they could put up a challenge in those positions. I think they might be able to give an upset, the Sodiumers, but Gun and Wollywogs I really don't think are going to be doing as well.
Yeah, just because of experience, really.
Yeah, to be...
I mean, who knows? They could have been practicing this whole time.
Yeah, but what I'd say is, to be good in CTs, you kind of have to have been playing them for like a good solid few months, maybe
There's
even
so many
a
updates
year.
as well. Like, there's new tracks coming out every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
You just need to keep practicing and practicing.
you have to always be up to date, and you have to spend hours and hours playing them. And even after that, you have people like me that played like 12 hours before CSL, and I'd end up scoring 30 points. So,
yeah, going off of that, Astro, do you have any predictions or anything you want to say about the individual clans?
If I was predicting, I would literally just give the same list that you listed off.
That's fair.
Ace, I can't really say anything that hasn't already been said. I mean, Wollywogs and Gun are questionable teams that nobody's really seen of at all.
Yeah.
I mean, once we got, I think Twitch Emotes is a contender with Relapse. I think if anybody's gonna stop Relapse as 10-0, it's gonna be Twitch Emotes. And I think that's just realistically how it's looking at. There's not really much else I can say other than that's it. Like,
yeah, that's fair enough. I think it's a shame that Final Stand dropped out because obviously they were the other top tier custom track clan in the community, so it's definitely going to make Relapse's life a little easier. But as you two were saying, I definitely think that Twitch Emotes and the Sodiumers can cause upsets this season, and we can't really have a bold prediction that Relapse are going to straight up win it, but it is looking like that as of now.
and I think now that we've done that, we should probably go to seedings. So I'll very quickly take a...
Yeah, I think Savvy wanted you to say something about the casting schedules as well.
Okay, so if I quickly zoom in on the thing so people can see.
Oh.
I know. Oh, sod it, put 100. There we go. And
okay,
top
let's see
list.
what we're looking at.
So there you go, straight up from the first of the list, we've got Charge Brigade Gold and Wollywogs, which is undeniably the most hyped up match of Division 1. I mean, they're, as we said earlier, a while back, that they are the, like, 2 most, what's it called, favourite clans to win the division. We've got Untouchables and Shore Mowers from D2, and then Explorers of Time versus Multiverse in D4. So, could you actually put that link to the thread in the chat real quick?
Okay, yep.
So people can look at it. But as you can see, there is a thread which is completely set up. This isn't just CSL, there are MKU schedules as well. So this has the first 5 weeks all set up. So if anyone does want to find out anything to do with the CSL and what's going to be casted when, then just go to that thread. We also are looking for streamers from every single clan. So if you are participating in CSL and you are looking to live stream, then feel free to.
Let me get a print
yeah.
screen. No, a link. Not
There's
a print
also a
screen.
thread link to that. So if you do want to have your Twitch stream live casted, then feel free to post it there as well. And who knows, you could be getting casted. So that's everything from me, at least. I'm not sure if any of you want to like say anything else off on that note.
I think I would point out that in casting, a lot of the matches have been decided by me. So
Oh,
yeah.
I think
And
they've definitely picked up some like hype matches. It's good that we've got like variety of each division. so
Yeah,
people
I
watch
mean-
their own teams, etc.
let me see if I can show that I actually had to try getting like a balance of what division was playing where. It was quite a nightmare, to be honest. But as you can see, I can't. Oh no, I've messed that up. As you can see, there's a bit of a table at the top with week 5 on the left, and you can see all of. By week 4, everything other than the CT division had got 3 matches casted. Like I was trying to balance it like that.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Let me just ever so slightly lower the cropping on the top so that we can all see the actual table. But yeah, as you can see, I had it where, because CT division, as much as we all like it, like us three, it's not going to be the most hyped division, to be honest. There's only 6 clans when the other teams, like the other regular tracks, have 24. So there's quite a lot more hype matches in
It
those.
feels bad to be a custom track division admin. So,
It felt bad to be CT CSL Council. So yeah, that's all I have to say as well.
Astro, do you have anything that you want to say?
Not that I can think of. Like, everything's pretty much been cleared up, and that's it.
Yeah,
I mean-
pretty much just gone over the seasons and schedule. So, I mean, Tom, I guess you can finish off if there's anything
Okay.
last things that you want to say.
Not really, just generally good luck to every team in the thing. Of course, there's a few things that do have to happen, like Uka Shichibukai. We have to find out what happens with
Yeah.
them. But hopefully whatever happens, it goes well. Hopefully it's enjoyable, and I hope that overall it goes a lot smoother than last season did.
Alright, so pretty much that's going to end it off. So, thanks for watching, and I guess we'll see you when the first week starts on the 9th of January.
Bye.